Hi, this is Michael at TV Radio 1972, and today I am reviewing the HanRongDa HRD-701 PLL World Band Radio. It's an AM, FM, shortwave, weather band radio with Bluetooth and MP3 player. You can buy these between $38 and $45 on Amazon, depending on the brand and seller. I was able to get one for $22.49 plus tax after using a 50% off coupon through this Amazon seller, Jun Shun Tong. I hope I have it pronounced correctly, but that is the seller in which I got this radio at half price. And I also got it because it's yellow. And speaking of yellow, June 1st is National Yellow Radio Day, which is also the first day of the Atlantic hurricane season. It is a day in which we spotlight our yellow radios, and yellow is a good color for emergencies, especially emergency radios. Now, it was declared by the Radio Geek. Here's his channel. He has over 3,300 subscribers, and here are some of his recent videos. He does radio reviews, some tech stuff, as well as some off-topic things such as the motorcycle chase a few months back. And here's last year's yellow radio video they did for National Yellow Radio Day in 2022. Pretty neat. I recommend this channel. Feel free to subscribe to it and hit the bell notification to be informed on upcoming videos. And I'm confident that he will have a video coming up for this year's National Yellow Radio Day. I highly recommend the channel. Now back to the box. You have HanRongDa lettering here, the seller, a sticker of the seller's name here, picture of the radio, some writing in Chinese and English, model number HRD-701, just like on this side box. Nothing here. This side of the box, some more writing in Chinese, some logos, as well as made in China, because that's where this radio was made in. And then some icons of various features. You can pause and look at that while I go over it. New design, FM, medium wave, shortwave radio, TF card, Bluetooth, no weather radio, alarm, lock feature, BL5C, lithium battery, pulley searching, which is the radio's tuning wheel, sleep timer, 114 station memory, 32 AM, 32 FM, 50 shortwave, and an LCD display. And on this side of the package, frequency range, receiving sensitivity, and signal noise ratio. I'll go over the frequencies. FM is 64 to 108 megahertz, medium wave 520 to 1710 kilohertz, shortwave 4.75 to 21.85 megahertz, and weather band 162.4 to 162.55 megahertz. Has information on the currents, the speaker, station memories. Bluetooth is 5.0 and the distance 10 meters. Voltage information, battery, TF card playback, which is MP3 wave and WMA format compatible. Maximum TF card capacity, 256 gigabytes, and then the product size and net weight. Now, I took everything out of the box because there was a lot of packaging in here. But here's what came in the package. A operation manual in English. 18 pages, pretty comprehensive. So, very helpful book. You have a lanyard. And there's a hook on the radio. You put it around the hook and then you press it here. And then you can either hang it on your wrist or hang it somewhere. Pretty neat lanyard. USB Type-C charging cable. A lot more of these newer radios, power banks, and other devices have this kind of charging cable. Glad to see they updated it. And we also have a pouch. Feels pretty sturdy to me. And then it also included the PLL-5C lithium battery, which is 1,000 milliamp hours. I already put in the radio. And here's the radio. It's a little thick, but pretty short. Now it's 5:32 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for the northeastern part of New Jersey, or 21:32 UTC. And I'm recording this a few days ahead of time, full disclosure, just in case I didn't have time to record it the day before. But I digress. Anyhow, I'll give you some size comparisons next. The Sangean DT400W. This is a taller but thinner radio than the HanRongDa. And then there's the DAB-P9, which is FM DAB MP3 player. Same thing. This one is taller but thinner than the HanRongDa. And I'll show you the dimensions. 2 3/8 of an inch in length, 3.5 inches in height, and 1/2 inches in depth. Has a 10-inch antenna and a speaker of 1.5 inches. And I'll show you what's on the radio. You have a tuning light, which lights up green when it lands on a strong signaled station. And HanRongDa logo here. Then you have this lock button. You long press to lock the radio, and then you long press again to unlock it. Has a nice amber display on the LCD. And right now when it's off, it shows the time, AM or PM, or neither if you're on 24-hour mode. And the battery indicator. This radio is capable of both 12 and 24-hour time. And then you have the tuning wheel here. So that's one of the ways you can tune the radio. And then your speaker here. It sounds pretty good. On this side of the radio, you have the tuning wheel. The other part of the tuning wheel here pretty much is attached there. Soldier logo here with HRD-701 model number. A serial number sticker. In the back, you have your hook for your lanyard. DC 5-volt jack. TF card slot. I had to put my own TF card because it didn't come with one. And then you have your battery door. It's not hinged, and that's where the PLL-5C battery is. It's replaceable, so if you want a higher capacity than the 1000, if you can find one, you can upgrade the capacity if you wanted to. And then on this side of the rail, you have your radio, Bluetooth, and music player switches. And then you have an Army logo here. And then on the bottom, you have 2 rubber feet to stand the radio. And then on the top, there's a lot at the top. You have your 10-inch antenna, which surprisingly does pretty well for FM and weather band. And then you have your tuning wheel here. I don't really like it. You have to kind of tune it. Adjust the volume in a strange way, and I don't really like it, honestly. But it's there. And then the 3 buttons on the top first, which is the power button to turn on or off your radio, the set button. When it's off, it sets off the alarm. When it's on, you can go to your presets by pressing it, or you can long press the set or preset manually. The pause button is used when it's off. You set the time. When it's on, you can auto scan. And it's also used for the weather alert function. by long pressing when you're on weather band, at least. And it's also used to mute the audio when the radio's on, or unmute it by single press. And then the bottom buttons here, you start your band button. When it's off, you set the FM. The settings are 64, 87, 87.5, and 76. Now, if you set on 87, the medium wave is 10 kilohertz steps. The rest of them, the medium wave is 9 kilohertz steps. And then when it's on, you change the bands. The forward button, you go to the next track, or you tune up when you're on the radio. And then the backward button, go to previous track, or you can tune down. Or if you long press when you're on radio mode, you can scan up or scan down depending on the buttons. And that is it for that. And now I'm going to go through the weather band first. So I'm going to turn on the radio.
Radio.
Memorial Day, sunny. Highs in the lower 80s. Northeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour, becoming east 10 to 15 miles per hour in the afternoon. Monday night, mostly clear. Lows in the upper 40s.
KZZ31, Harteston, New Jersey, about 25 miles away from me. That is my semi-local no-weather station. And, the antenna is very directional because it goes straight up, so... But if I can get that station, it is a capable weather band receiver. Now, unmute the audio.
Miles per hour. Waves 1 to 2 feet. For Monday night, east winds 15 to 20 knots with gusts up to 25 knots, diminishing to 10 to 15 knots after midnight. Waves 2 to 3 feet. And for Tuesday, east winds 10 to 15 knots. Waves 2 to 3 feet.
KWO35 New York City, that's between 10 and 15 miles away from me. That's my nearest no-weather radio station. So, if I can get those two stations, that means it's a capable receiver. And for 10 inches, it does pretty well. So, I'm satisfied with the weather band. I think it's pretty good. Let's go to FM.
최고의 이해를 드리는 하늘가족 중앙장의사 뉴욕 전화 718-3
WNYZLD, New York City. That is the TV, that's audio TV channel 6, which airs Korean programming. Now, there's a few ways you can tune it in the bands. I'm going to turn down the volume for now just to show you how it works. You can flick up or down to tune to the next strong station. A little harder to do down than up, but it tunes. It can auto-tune that way, or you can tune in using the forward and back buttons. Either you can long press and scan, or you can long press to scan up. And that's how you get it. However, I'm going to do a preset scan since I have a lot of features to go over here still. So I'm going to set it. Now the setting button only stays a few seconds. So I have to be very quick on the scan on the FM. So that's what I'm going to do next.
The early, mid-70s or whatever. You know, that's...
Very unique because the Celtics quote felicidad hasta en el sótano. Wow.
With a mostly clear sky tomorrow for Memorial Day.
Many of these people are killing themselves. I mean, it's not I could ever stand on through it all.
Get covered NYC or visit NYC.
다운화하기 위해 만들어진 다른 주장도 나올 수가 있겠죠.
W252CS Palisades Park, New Jersey. That's about 9 miles away, 120 watts. That translator recently moved from Brooklyn, New York. So now I'm getting Korean programming on 98.3. It is actually a simulcast of WVIP 93.5 HD4, New Rochelle, New York. That's where it's simulcast. It's the same program as WNYZ LDA 7.7.
이 아니겠나 생각을 해봅니다. 그리고 지금의 for Law 24. D'Agostino
tickets from the New York Lottery. To ensure you a different level of premium, comfort, and transparency. Stop in and see what special offers they have going on right now.
During our month-long Memorial Day sale, lease a 23 Mazda CX-5 for just $249 a month.
That's WFAN-FM, New York City, Sports Radio 101.9, The Fan, also broadcasting at 660 AM. That is all for the FM. I'm going to do an FM reception report next. I got 53 stations, 42 okay to good, and 11 weak signals, so for 10 inches, this does pretty good on FM, and with these DSP receivers, if they're implemented properly, it does well on selectivity. So that's why I was able to get 53 stations on the FM despite a 10-inch antenna. But next, I'm going to go to the AM. I think the FM is pretty good. Now, I'm going to AM right now. I'm going to play WBWD 540 AM, Islip, New York, which is about 50 miles away at 10,000 watts during the day, 220 watts at night. And then I'm going to scan through the rest of the AM band afterwards.
عجلات انتشار في الشست 12 ضربتها
OpenRoadMonster.com 0% APR financing available on select 2023 SUV vehicles.
Now, the reason why I'm turning this radio around is because it uses an internal ferrite bar antenna. That's why you're seeing me turning the radio in different directions. FM and weather band shortwave use the telescopic antenna.
Too. Now, Sherry, I want to share a couple more testimonials that caught my attention.
Which is that, just as we talked about, you're not going to lower your standards or your sense of self for someone or over-compromise.
Sort of mercilessly bullied. I mean, I feel like there needs to be a bigger word for it.
Really? Homers. First pitch. Lefty takes outside. Ball one.
In our school at the time, a couple of brown belts, and I would roll all the time with these.
44-8805 today.
Went to news time 5:45. A man is dead. Another in the hospital after that.
Pero si el chivo viene, avisan.
No, el chivo es algo que tenemos que organizarlo bien.
Least bad outcome, and as you said, the secretary has said that.
Bobby, James Milner, Gabby Keita y Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain también saldrán de los Reds este.
No murmuremos, no nos quejemos, vayamos directamente.
.org. That's championshrine.org.
Oh. 我覺得呢一個咧係要拎走嘅。哦。
Yeah, once you get past 1500, this starts losing its sensitivity. This is WGHT, Pompton Lakes, New Jersey. Yeah, pretty faint with this radio. Although a passive loop, when you set it up, it should increase the reception. WFME New York City. I don't know if you can even hear it through it, but it's very faint.
And all your favorite artists.
Looking for ways to get involved? The National Urban League works to provide economic empowerment, educational opportunities, and the guarantee of civil rights for the underserved.
WWRL New York City, BIN 1600.
Your community, 51% of all food programs in the
1640, yeah. Little trouble in this spot. It's simulcast no weather radio. That's WQBX 398, Patterson, New Jersey on 1640. And then 1700, unless I have a passive loop next to it, I'm not going to be able to get it day or night. It's just it loses its sensitivity. And that is all for the AM right now. And I'll give you an AM reception report. Despite its flaws above 1500 AM, it did pretty decent. I got 39 stations during the day, 23 okay to good, and 16 weak signals. At night, I got 72 stations, 36 okay to good, and 36 weak signals. So this radio, during the day could get some semi-locals, but it's mainly for locals. And then at night, you might be able to get a few semi-locals, as well as distant stations at night, because especially in the lower part, that band, it does actually a little bit better. So, I'll say it is a decent AM receiver. But right now I'm going to go to Shortwave.
Se dice, pero evidentemente son 5 años y hay personas que han estado 6, 7 años. Nosotros ayer hacemos un paseo, un recorrido con los activistas que pueden quedar acá. En la isla en ese sentido y cuando veíamos también la lista del 2018, 2017 hasta la fecha, hay muchos y hay muchos que aún estamos aquí, pero estamos bajo esa.
Yeah. It scans pretty fast to its credit, but I want to see if I can get some lower frequency. Oh. Nah, can't get 15. I wanted to see if I can get 9330.
His prayer was short but desperate. Help me.
WBCQ Monticello, Maine on 9330.
In his left hand. He could move it. Then his left leg. He moved next to his right side, and he let everyone in the emergency room know he could move.
And that is all for the shortwave. Shortwave performance, not so great actually in my opinion. Mainly good for domestic stations or strong signals. And if you live near medium wave stations like I do, WABC is 50,000 watts at 770. It's only 4 miles away from it, and you probably were able to hear some overload from it. And that happens in parts of the shortwave band. If you live farther away from those strong AM medium wave stations, you might be better off. But as far as performance is concerned, to me, shortwave is just there. It's not that great, in my opinion, especially with that 10-inch antenna. Now, what I'm going to do next is go to Bluetooth mode.
Bluetooth mode. Connected.
And I'm just going to play some audio from my last radio review of the CC Observer.
YouTube Premium is ad-free YouTube and video downloads, so you can watch cooking.
Hi, this is Michael at TV Radio 1972, and on Wednesday, April 19th, 2023, I reached 2,000 subscribers. Now, that was about a month ago at the time of this recording, But nevertheless, I want to thank everyone who has watched my videos and subscribed to my channel. I appreciate it very much. So that's just a little sample of the Bluetooth mode. I was able to connect it to Bluetooth and it sounds pretty good. Now what I'm going to do next is play the music player, the MP3 player.
SD card mode.
And it sounds pretty good on MP3 player as well. Now it only shows the track number and the timing. It doesn't show titles of tracks or anything. It's a very limited, basic MP3 player, but it's pretty good. Sounds pretty good. As a matter of fact, there's 6 different equalizer settings that you can set it up to. Now you'll have to consult the operation manual to see what they are, but it says E1 to E6. That's basically just the long and short of it as far as the equalizer mode. Sounds very good, in my opinion. Now I'm going to give you final thoughts. Overall, I like this radio overall. It has a good sound, has good audio. FM and weather band reception is pretty good. AM is decent. Shortwave, not so great. Especially if you live near medium wave stations where you might get overload in spots of the shortwave band. Bluetooth and music player, they sound great. Although, very basic music player. So, but I think the highlight of this is its audio. It has very good audio, and if you want something that has a good audio to a receiver, but very small to carry, I would recommend it there. Now, as far as a recommendation, for $23, $23, yeah, I'd say go get it if you can get it on sale. Even $30 to $35 is fine, but I wouldn't go above that because of the shortwave performance and even the AM. But everything else is pretty good about it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10, 3.5 stars. And the reason for that rating because I feel that the audio on this is good, and that's why I raised it up from a 6 to a 7 on this particular radio. And those are my final thoughts. If you like this review, give it a thumbs up and feel free to subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell notifications to be informed of upcoming videos of radio reviews, DXing, and other content related to radio. Have a good day, everyone. Have a happy National Yellow Radio Day on June 1st. Stay safe and God bless. Bye-bye.